With Danny Cowley, Concord manager, after tonight's emphatic victory in the Essex Senior Cup quarter-final against their local rivals Canvey. Dan, good run out tonight, I would have thought.
Yeah, it was a good win. Really pleased to get on the right side of the result. Obviously, there's a lot of rivalry between the two teams, and it's a game that means a lot to a lot of people at this club, and it's always nice to give them something back. We've got a real group of committee people that are really committed and work really hard for this club and do a lot of stuff behind the scenes and are really selfless in what they do. So it's always nice to give them something back.
First time going into the game that we've been not the underdog in this tie. I think that do we live up to us being favourites?
Yeah, I've been asked that question a lot. People keep asking, are you underdogs, are you favourites? And I felt we're favourites, and the reason I felt we're favourites is we're a team that's a division higher, and I think that there's a massive gap between the two divisions. And I honestly felt that, so we were confident that we could win, but we also respected the fact that Canvey are a good team, and it's a cup game, so you have to, you have to make sure that you turn up and do things in the right way. What was most pleasing for me was that we looked really battle hardened. Week in, week out, the Conference South is really, really tough, and it's a real challenge for our players. And it looked tonight that we were physically better for that challenge, that we were mentally better for that challenge, and it showed me how far our team has come since last year, which we've worked hard at trying to develop, and are rightly proud of that.
Obviously we scored 3 good goals tonight. It looked like it was a little bit of a cruise late on. Obviously turned into 4-0, but I thought for 35 minutes we were excellent on a really difficult pitch, which we've had loads and loads of rain, and people behind the scenes have done a fantastic job to get it on. I think we're the only game on locally, so well done to everyone involved in that respect. But it was difficult, it was wet, it was heavy, it wasn't conducive to good football, but I thought we in spite of that, we played some really good stuff, and what was disappointing for me is in that first period we should have been more clinical, because I thought we could have had 7 or 8. And then after the 35 minutes, we come off of it. We let them off the hook, and that was a little bit disappointing, because we have high standards of ourselves, and we wanted to try to keep the intensity that we showed. I can understand it's difficult for the players. We were in control of the game, and we dropped off a little. Like I said, I can understand it. The leagues are difficult. Probably people started to look towards Saturday. Obviously we rested a couple of players in the second half, so you can understand why it happened. But we're pleased to win 4-0. Tony Stokes nearly scored.
Yeah,
which would have been
that probably would have crowned it off for us. Most things went for us tonight. That would have been nice for Tony to score, but it's just nice for him to play again. He was obviously captain today, and I thought Sam was excellent. I thought he was absolutely unplayable first half, and I thought him and Sammy linked well. I thought the pair of them looked good. I thought their interplay was good, and looked a threat, which is really positive for us going forward.
Brilliant. And on to Saturday, it's home, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, we need to enjoy tonight, because these games, when they do come around, there's a lot at stake, and there's a lot of they're intense games. So we put a lot into tonight, so we've got to enjoy that first, and then dust ourselves on and start to prepare for Saturday, because having to beat Whitehall on Monday night, and it will be a really good side. So we know we have our work cut out, and the Essex Senior Cup, we're in the semi-final of that, which we've been in the latter stages of that competition every year for the last 5 years, which I think again the club should be proud of. But ultimately our main objective this year is the league, and trying to be competitive in that. So we'll quickly turn our focus to that, and make sure we prepare properly to give ourselves the best chance of getting a positive result Saturday.
Anyone you don't fancy in the semi-final?
No, not really. Listen, we'll see what the draw brings. Home ties obviously always what you look for. We want to get to the final. It's something we want to win. We enjoy winning. We're a club over the last 6-7 years that has been used to winning, and when you get the bug, you get greedy and you want to keep winning. And I think that's a really healthy thing to have in your dressing room. And I know the boys are really keen to get to the final. We respect the fact that there's some pretty big clubs left in that, and you've got to play your Colchesters and your Dagenhams and Braintrees even now, who look like they're taking it more seriously. You've got to play them on the right day.
If you do that, you give yourself half a chance. But listen, tonight was more than a quarter final of the Essex Cup, because tonight was another opportunity to show the Canvey public how far we've come as a team. And what I like about the game, and why I always enjoy this game, is because I think it gives you real feedback of where you are as a team, because of the intensity of the game. I think it really highlights where you are in terms of your team organisation, your team shape, and also your spirit and togetherness. And what was pleasing, I thought the players passed every one of the questions that we asked of them, and that's, you know, that's really positive. I've been shouting from the rooftops that we're a good team. We've really improved this year. I know we haven't always got the success on the pitch because of the nature of the level, but I know for a fact that if we were playing in the Ryman Premier Division this year, we'd be right at the very top of it. We'd be competing with the real top teams, and for a club like us, that, you know, we should be really proud of the team that we've got and the players we've got in the club.
Brilliant. All right, excellent.
Thank
Well,
you.
good luck Saturday. Thank you.